Right, so next I'm going to have a look at this advanced mechanism. Now, it looks like it's all stuck up and dirty, and being on the bottom of the pump, any moisture in the pump probably comes down this way. I think that should be a sealing washer. Oh no, the sealing washer might be off it. So we'll pop this apart. I'll just hang on to him in the vise. Now on my vise here, I've taken the jaws off and I've put just alloy jaws in. They're just aluminium, they're soft. So when you see me holding on to things in the vise, they're just soft jaws. So they're permanent soft jaws for what I like to do. So that's a 15/16. We'll turn him up the other way. Loosen those plugs. There'll be a bit of spring tension, I believe. I haven't had one of these apart in ages. You can feel the tension's just come off that now. There we go. We'll come out the other way. Yeah, a lot of rubbish in there. So you can see the rust on the spring. There's still water in there. And that plunger is just stuck solid. This is the shorter road to come out, so we might come this way just because it's shorter. Well, there you go. How do we identify which one goes where? What I might do is, because I have to sandblast them anyway, pull this O-ring off. I'll screw that one on there so we know that that was the end that had the spring. And this other one, we'll take this O-ring off. We'll screw him in there, so I'll go and clean that in a minute. Now this fella here, yeah, you can see all the rust and that on that. I have a little bit of 1200 sandpaper here, so that's taken the high spots off it at least. Now this back end here. This back end has the shiny bits to support the plunger here, but it's got the tracks in the side there to let the pressure away. I might bring this round the right way even, Lance, eh? I might tape him up and clean inside there. Whoop, and clean around here too. And the end, so what I'll probably do is get a bit of masking tape, mask up these flat areas so the sandblaster's not hitting into them. And I'll just tidy all this up here. Get rid of that rust. I'll do the spring as well. The spring needs a good clean. And I'll do this housing here and try and clean him up as best I can. Alright, I'll come back in a little while. Okay, well I've got all this tidied up. I actually run through the bore with a little bit of 1200 paper, and you can see this now, like that just drops under in its own weight, and that's how we want it. Now, both the front and back plugs there have a little O-ring that comes in the kit. This one does too. So once more, we'll put a bit of penetrate in there. Just keeps it all lubricated until we get the tractor up and running properly. So I'll start by popping this fella in. I haven't tightened him up just yet. But yeah, you can see that's just lovely. Spring. The end housing. And we'll nip this up. (15/16) spanner once more. I'm using a flat spanner because it can get right down. It's a very thin nut. Now we'll turn him upside down. That should be tight enough. Now there's another little trick with this bolt here. Now there's an O-ring right down the far end here in this groove, so we have to pop that down there out of the way. We'll work this one on. So it goes right down to under the head. Right down there. Then there's another O-ring comes in here. Then, and there's a little washer that sits down over top of there. So when you screw this in, that supports that O-ring in the bottom of this housing there. So this goes right in there. Now the other thing that is part of this, there's a little ball goes in there. Little ball like that. Then pop this in as far as you can just for the moment. And we'll pop the gasket on. And that's ready now to go back onto the housing and be buttoned up.